lose weight too fast, a lot of times we're trying to outwork a bad diet. And when you try to outwork a bad diet, when you're eating too many calories every day, that means you're gonna have to put in way too much work. Sustainability and balance is always gonna win over super disciplined, super rigorous, depriving yourself of things that you like to do, depriving yourself of being in social settings, all that type of stuff. So, for me, going on a cut is something that I probably would say is like a once every year type of thing for me. It's not. Yo, what's up with it, y'all? It's JD, and I'm back with another quick video. In today's video, I want to chop it up with you guys about the most optimal way to lose fat and to lose weight. There's plenty of ways that we can lose fat. There's plenty of ways that we can lose weight. But sometimes when we're on our weight loss or our fat loss journey, there's different tactics that we can take that are either mentally unhealthy or they can actually even be physically unhealthy. And we're gonna get into that during this video. But before we get into the video, if you guys are interested in fitness, health, travel, overall growth content, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you can get updated every time I drop new content. Also, if you guys need help with your weight loss, fat loss journey, just getting in the best shape as possible, creating the best version of yourself, hit my website up. That's Travelsthenix.com. Book a free consultation with me. You can either work with me one-on-one or you can scoop up one of my ready-to-go programs. I got an 8-week program for beginners, a 12-week program for people who have an athletic background. Also have ebooks on, recipes and intermittent fasting, things of that nature. Now let's get back into the video. So if you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you guys know that I like to take you guys on my growth journey, whether that's in the mental, physical, or spiritual realm. And I also like to help you guys along your growth journey if there's any way that I can actually help you guys. And, weight loss, fat loss, this is something that pretty much everybody deals with. Even if you're somebody who's on the skinnier end, you might be carrying a little bit more body fat than you want. Maybe, and if you're somebody who's overweight, then more than likely you're probably carrying more fat and weight than you actually need. So this is something that you're kind of chronically dealing with. So, I've went through plenty of I would say cut and bulk stages in my life. And most of the time they're usually unintentional. And recently I've actually bulked up a bit. Right now I'm probably weighing in at about 190 pounds, maybe even a little bit more. I'm not quite sure. I weighed myself when I went to the doctor a couple weeks ago and I was 190 pounds, which is the heaviest I've been in a while. But me at 190 pounds is not necessarily something that's a bad thing. Whatever photo that I use in the thumbnail is gonna be my current physique as of today. And I'm still relatively lean, in good shape, but I'm not necessarily in the stage where I would be, what I would consider super lean. I'm not in single digit body fat or anything of that nature. But when it comes down to going into that cutting stage, I've done it plenty of times. And not plenty of times, but I've done it a few times. And, there's been different reasons for why I wanted to cut weight. So, I think originally when I got on my calisthenics journey and my intermittent fasting journey, I was just unhealthy and I wanted to cut down just to be at a healthier weight and, a manageable body fat percentage. And I did that. I was successful with that and it created a new lifestyle for myself. But I actually wanted to share with you guys probably my most recent time where I went in a super hard cut. And the reason behind why I went into that cut was extremely unhealthy. And it was basically because I had just came off of I would say it was probably the hardest breakup I've ever came off of. Not necessarily it was the most intense relationship I've ever had, but taking into consideration that right now I'm 36, I'm gonna be 37 next month. And at the time I was 35 years old. And I had never been broken up with in my entire life. I literally had never had a girl break up with me. It was a huge ego hit for me. It's not necessarily I was super madly in love with this girl or anything of that nature, but my ego just took a hit. And at the time, I just was thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, what's the best way? Not that I was even consciously thinking about this, but subconsciously, I was probably thinking to myself, what's the best way for me to boost my ego back up? What's the quickest and most easiest way for me to boost my ego back up? And for me, in my mind, I was thinking I want to get as shredded as possible and, hook up with as many chicks as possible. Like I said, it wasn't the most healthiest mindset to be in. But nonetheless, that's where my mind was at the time. So I got super shredded, super lean, At that time, I think I was about 186, 187 pounds, which was probably pretty heavy for me back then. Like I said, I was still in decent shape, but I wasn't in like super shredded shape. But I got down to like, I think I was like 172 pounds or something like that at the time. I mean, I was literally shredded to the gills. Every single muscle on my body, you could see it. If I could find some old footage of that, it was only like a year and a half ago. But if I could find some old footage of, this time period, I'm gonna share it with you guys because I was super shredded. This is probably the leanest I've ever been in my entire life. But there was a drawback to that. Obviously I wasn't in a good mental state. And because I wasn't in a good state mentally and spiritually, it affected my kind of like the way I felt physically. Like I always felt depleted because I tried to do it too fast. I think I lost like 15 pounds in 15 days. And, granted, some people say losing weight really fast is not a good thing. I don't necessarily agree with that because I feel like if you're extremely overweight, losing weight is going to be healthy for you no matter how you do it. If you lose it fast or you lose it slow. But where I was at, I think I was just in a rush to get super shredded and super lean for superficial reasons. And because of that, everything was just out of balance. But anyways, so basically my tactic that I used back then was basically I went on a super big caloric deficit, obviously, and I was working out like a madman. I was working out 2 times a day. I was doing like cardio in the morning, doing calisthenics workout right after that, high intensity workouts, just basically a lot of stuff that isn't even really that enjoyable to me. But so, you go through these things in life, you learn from them, you take certain things from them. There is certain aspects of what I did that I think is very valuable and I think everybody should use on their weight loss or their fat loss journey. But there is also an aspect of it, I put it to the side. That's no good. I learned from it. I won't do that again. So like I said, I'm about 190 pounds right now. And in the next month, I'd like to cut down to about as low of a body fat percentage as I can do in about a month at a reasonable rate. I'm not going to be trying to lose a crazy amount of weight. I'm not going to be trying to, restrict myself super much or just work myself to death. I'm going to take it slow. I'm going to take it easy. And I'm going to do what I think is the most optimal way of losing body fat and losing weight in general. And one thing that sometimes I can struggle with is the fact that, I love to eat. So for me, I'm going to eat a lot, but in turn, I'm going to work it off. I'm going to be working my ass off. I like to think that I have a really good work ethic when it comes down to working out. I have no problem working out 2-3 hours a day. Easy. I literally just got back from the gym, did a 3-hour session of weighted calisthenics. I'll probably share that with you guys during this video. But that's never been an issue for me, the work ethic. But the issue for me has always been, moderating things like sweets, moderating things like alcohol. These are my, problem areas, I would say. I have an extremely bad sweet tooth. And when I'm in, company of people who are drinking alcohol or I'm just in a social setting, I want to have a taste too. I'm going to want to have, a drink. I'm going to want to have a beer. I'm going to want to have a gin and tonic, whatever it may be, margarita, whatever we're drinking that night. So for me, those are more of my problem areas. So what I'm going to be doing in this next month is I'm going to cut out the alcohol and I'm going to cut out the processed sugar completely. Now, granted, this isn't something that's going to be sustainable over a long time. But in my opinion, I don't think that like going on one of these cuts where you're trying to cut for aesthetics is something that's ever going to be sustainable in the long run. Because I think, honestly, where I'm at right now, as far as the way my body looks, as far as the way my body feels, as far as the way that I feel, my confidence, everything like that, I'm in a great place right now. But there's actually something specifically that I want to get super lean for, and that's the reason why I'm doing it. But if you don't really have any reason to get into like 8% body fat, 7% body fat, honestly, I really don't even think there's any reason for chasing after it. Because when it comes down to attracting women, women don't know the difference between 12% body fat and 7% body fat for the most part. Honestly, they're not really going to be able to tell the difference. For me, at 12% body fat, which is probably where I'm at right now, I've got a good 6-pack and I've got a whole lot of muscle mass. So the average woman's going to look at me and like, oh, this dude's in impeccable shape. He doesn't even have any fat on his body. So if I get down to like 7 or 8%, honestly, a lot of times a woman might look at me and be like, damn, his face is like shrunken in because he's like too lean. He's too in shape. Like, it's almost intimidating when you get to that point. So for me, I don't necessarily think that's a sustainable place to be at in general. So for you guys out there, find a healthy body fat percentage that works for you. Find a healthy body weight that actually works for you as well. Because, you know, sustainability and balance is always going to win over super disciplined, super rigorous, depriving yourself of things that you like to do, depriving yourself of being in social settings, all that type of stuff. So, you know, for me, going on a cut is something that I probably would say is like a once every year type of thing for me. It's not something that I'm not one of these guys who's like trying to keep myself at the lowest body fat percentage year round. Because in all reality, one thing I'll say about me having this extra weight and me having a little bit higher of a body fat percentage, number one, my weighted calisthenics strength has been going through the roof. Like, I've been hitting all types of PRs when it comes down to weighted calisthenics. Today I did a 170-pound dip. That's definitely my personal record in terms of dips. I was doing some other, heavy weighted pull-ups, some push-ups weighted, pistol squats weighted, and having a little bit more weight on your body and having a little bit more body fat for somebody like me is going to help, because it's going to help with my recovery as well. So being super shredded isn't necessarily the optimal thing. And another thing that comes along with being extremely shredded is the fact that sometimes when you get down to too low of a body fat percentage as a man, it can mess with your hormone levels. And I'm going to take this time to let you guys know about a partnership that I have with a company called Let's Get Checked. And they actually do male hormone testing. They're at-home testing kits. So it's easy, private. You guys just get the kits shipped to your house. They can, send you results. It usually takes, I think, about a week or something like that. But if you guys are interested, the links are going to be down in the description. You guys can use my promo code, which is GTC30. Again, that's GTC30. If you guys want to use that at-home testing kits, you can get your testosterone levels checked, and you can just get all your hormone levels checked. They actually do all different types of testing in general. They do STD checks. They do all types of stuff. But anyways, like I said, having your body fat too low can actually be harmful. And on the opposite end of the spectrum, if you're a man who has too high of a body fat percentage, that can mess with your hormone levels as well. So you want to find that happy medium. You want to find that balance. And in my eyes, and just in general in terms of life, not necessarily just with fitness, not necessarily with body composition, anything, balance is going to be extremely important. It's one of those things where if you're all work and no play, your balance is going to be off. If your body fat percentage is too low, your balance is going to be off. If you're working out all day, your balance is going to be off. If you're partying all the time and you're not handling business, your balance is going to be off. If you're always chasing women and you're not, finding ways to make money or whatever it may be on your hustle, your balance is going to be off, and vice versa. If you're always on the grind, always working, and you never have that female companionship, your balance is going to be off. One last thing I want to talk about before I end this video is the negative physical side effects from trying to lose weight too fast, and that's injuries. And the reason why I say injuries is going to be a part of that is going to be because when you're working out too much during the day, like, your body has to recover. Like, I'm a firm believer in working out 7 days a week. If you guys have been watching this channel, or you guys have been watching the channel that I have with James, High Octane Calisthenics, I'll probably put a card up here somewhere. You guys can check out that channel. You guys know I believe in working out 7 days a week. But do I believe in working out 7 days a week, 4 hours per day? No, I don't. Do I believe in going super hard every single day? No, I don't. I believe in having a good amount of movement every day. That doesn't mean that I'm doing resistance training every day. It doesn't mean that I'm doing weighted calisthenics every day. It means that I'm moving my body. I'm doing what my body was meant to do. Move, create, get into that flow state. So when it comes down to trying to lose weight too fast, a lot of times we're trying to outwork a bad diet. And when you try to outwork a bad diet, when you're eating too many calories every day, that means you're gonna have to put in way too much work. So if you're eating 4,000 calories a day and you're trying to lose weight, that means you're going to have to be burning like 4,500 calories per day. And that's really not sustainable. You're going to end up getting injured trying to burn 4,500 calories per day. The easier way to do it and the more optimal way to do it is just control your calorie intake, control your diet, and have that balance. Get your workout in the morning, eat sustainably, eat, don't necessarily worry about the calories as much, but you want to make sure that you're eating quality food. That means not eating food that comes out of a package, not eating fast food, not eating oily food, not eating a ton of carbs. So these are things that you're going to want to kind of focus on if you're on this weight and fat loss journey. So guys, if you guys have any other questions when it comes down to the optimal ways to lose weight, lose fat, hit my website up, Travelsthenix.com. Book a free consultation with me today. I'd love to hear from you guys. Hope everybody's having a great day out there. I'll holler at you guys later. Peace.